Yeah, Slug definitely brings in the AoE to keep Nids at bay.
That's true. The Chaos Lord definitely has a nasty pile of AoE options to toast or roast all of those Gaunts and Gants. And earlier, of course, we saw Vindicare using his worship to great effect as he pushed in and just kind of camped his heretic squads back behind these two walls earlier. So we've got the big bass Chaos Lord against the sneaky, slimy Lictor Alpha on Quest's Heresy. Vindicare getting his first squad of Chaos Tactical Marines, and the Termagant Broods for Holyhammer.
Seems like the Lictor's bugged on the...
Yeah, the Lictor seems to be trying to attack those heretics, but wouldn't quite do it until they finished capturing that point. That was a bit curious.
Infamous Dawn of War pathing.
Oh, and not quite getting a special attack on those heretics. Holyhammer decides to retreat that Lictor Alpha there. And of course we have the Termagant Broods. One of them is already upgrading with the Toxin Sacks, which will make kiting this Chaos Lord very easy. Of course he's immune to suppression, but not immune to slowing special abilities and things along those lines. So you can see Holyhammer's just microing around, trying to minimize his hurt and buy time while that gets upgraded. And there goes the first crippling volley, and it looks like he'll actually be able to push off the Chaos Lord with just those two squads. All things considered, that's kind of what you want. You just want to be able to tie up a few squads and keep them from doing anything on the map with that Chaos Lord. And Vindicare has gone ahead and gotten himself a second squad of Chaos Space Marines. And the Worship now letting those Chaos Marines move in very quickly against those Termagants. Probably going to try to engage them in melee. But the Lictor Alpha goes ahead and pulls one of them off of there. After being slingshotted ahead, the Chaos Heretics stop their worship and are moving in on the Lictor Alpha themselves. And Holyhammer gets pushed off once again. So meanwhile, on the left side of the map, Holy's Hormagaunts have been kind of rolling around and capping the points over here. Holy does have a two generators up, while Vindicare is still sitting on an empty power farm. He's got a pretty wreck-heavy opening here. You can see double tick and double Chaos Space Marines, and of course the Combi Flamer getting upgraded on that Chaos Lord, giving him the ability to immolate an area and some excellent range damage on top of that as well. So once again, Chaos Marines moving in to try to push off these Termagants. Lictor is engaging in melee though, of course. And the Chaos Lord just getting hammered by all of the Termagants right now. That Chaos Lord actually might be going down. Oh my goodness, look at that kill the week. Took him from next to nothing to all the way up. And completely turned that around. I had actually forgotten he hadn't used that yet. I figured he was going down right there.
I didn't think he'd get it off in time.
Although he is pushing in a bit forward right now. Finally falling back after taking tons of abuse, but during that engagement, while Holyhammer was having everything invested in trying to take down the Chaos Lord and his tax, the Heretic squads have been running around and capping pretty much the whole map. You can see just about everything's either red or decapped at this point. So Lichter's just constantly hounding down these Chaos Marines. Does a quick flesh hook and knocks out Aspiring Champion way to the back. Those warriors are looking pretty beat up. They need to get out of there. One of them does go down. All the Gaunt squads were far enough away that they weren't affected by the Synapse Bomb. And a squad of Raveners now coming onto the field for Holyhammer. So here comes a Ravener Burrow Strike. Vindicare sees it coming and pulls those Chaos Marines out of there nice and quick. Third squad now of Chaos Heretics coming in. Vindicare going a pretty heavy Tier 1. Against Tyranid, it's often not as much of a rush to get to Tier 2 as they don't have any quick vehicles they can bring on the field that'll really disrupt and shut down your map presence.
The thing about all his Tier 1 is he's got 311 requisition a minute, so by the time he's got enough to upgrade, he's going to have enough power too.
Yeah, he's got a pretty solid difference in rec income right now. The Chaos Lord is once again just getting focused down by these Termagants. Not probably going to be able to get in there for a kill of the week this time around. And here comes a Ravener Burrow Strike. Oh my goodness, those Raveners knocked them all over the place, but unfortunately Holyhammer does have to retreat in the face of all that damage. Heretics kind of just standing around taking some hurt from those Termagants. But the Lictor has to get out of there pretty quick as well. Holyhammer moving into Tier 2 now.
You might have actually been able to get that
Vindicare,
champion.
Vindicare with a fourth squad of Heretics now. So Vindicare is effectively trying to outswarm the Tyranid swarm here with his own endless supply of heretics.
You can only slow down so many.
Those heretics are extremely low. Doesn't look like they're going to get out of here. Didn't even retreat. Vindicare probably figures he's got plenty of them. No major loss there. Finally moving into Tier 3. Or 2 rather, sorry.
Dying for the cause.
Using that Immolate ability to force those Termagants out of range briefly. You can see he activated Kill the Weak, saw that the Lictor wasn't going to be in range, and retreated before it went off. Meanwhile, a huge pile of heretics moving in up top here. But the Lictor is Tier 2 and calls in a Spore Mine drop, I'm assuming. And scares all 3 of those right out of there.
Looks like Vindicare will be building something straight into Tier 2. If his slow red count has anything to say about it.
You can see the spore mines are waiting just around that corner out of range to cause some hurt to these heretics as soon as they came around. The last one does go down to a few swings of the heretic swords, but caused some pretty severe damage to that first squad of heretics that came charging around that corner. I believe Bloodlust was activated right there. But unfortunately, without those heretics being able to get within range, it really didn't do too much.
And Holyhammer's got a Zoanthrope coming up, which is just going to finish off any stragglers in Heretic squad.
Yeah, that Zoanthrope will put some serious hurt on heretics once it gets onto the field, and be pretty effective against the Chaos Marines as well. It'll be... I'm sure Vindicare will probably be bringing some Bloodletters onto the field here soon, as they can make short work of Raveners, Warriors, and of course the Gaunts. The Zoanthrope takes its first shot at those Chaos Space Marines. The Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood's getting forced off by the Heretics with the Aspiring Champion, but a Zoanthrope shot takes them down pretty nicely, going straight into Worship to fling that Chaos Lord up ahead after that Zoanthrope. You can see a nice little hesitation there by Holyhammer. Holyhammer charged in with the Lictor, then stopped him just short of the Chaos Lord, who Vindicare was trying to time that kill of the week there to get some extra HP from the Lictor Alpha.
Got some Bloodletters coming up for Vindicare.
Yep, there are the Bloodletters coming up right now.
3 Heretic squads going to make those very hard to kill.
Yeah, the constant worship support that they'll have with those 3 Heretics is probably going to be very frustrating. Especially if Vindicare uses it the way he has been and just tucking the Heretics back behind these walls and using the large AoE of that worship radius to fling them ahead.
Another Zoanthrope coming up for Holyhammer.
So Holyhammer once again bringing multiple Zoanthropes onto the field, currently sitting with a nice pair of them. And once again, oh my gosh, that was a nice Zoanthrope shot. That could be it for those Heretics. They're kind of walking right through his own immolation there. And you can see the Zoanthrope and everything else kind of just got the heck out of there as those Bloodletters teleported in behind most of the Tyranid army. Bloodletters are of course going to focus these warriors and try to get a Synapse Bomb on the Raveners. But looks like they're probably going to get away without losing anything. VPs are sitting pretty even right now. They've been going back and forth throughout the game. Let's see a Spore Mine drop right here next to these Chaos Space Marines. They're just going to go ahead and hammer away at them, not really intimidated by them too much. Oh man, those Bloodletters taking a double shot from the Zoanthropes. Not really worrying too much about it as they didn't lose a model and will probably be healed up to full by the time that Phase Walk wears off. The Lictor meanwhile has been upgraded with the Deadly Jump ability and their Corrosive Claws. And a pretty nasty pile of bugs moving in here. There's a Burrow Strike coming in behind the Bloodletters. Bloodletters are going to try to engage that Lictor. And meanwhile, once again, those Heretics trying to worship and support the Bloodletters throughout. It looks like they're probably going to go down, though. Both those Zoanthropes and now the Raveners. Yes, that's a dead squad of Heretics. That was the one with the Aspiring Champion as well. Does look like the Bloodletters are going to get out. Actually, so far haven't lost a model. Pretty good considering all that they just retreated through. Of Of course, Vindicare, meanwhile, was capping the other side of the map while all that was going on, at the cost of that Heretic squad. He's now down to 1 when he did have, what, 4 squads at one point, so he's lost 3 of those Heretic squads. Sitting on a crazy amount of power, both players are right now. And a Blood Crusher now coming onto the field as well. If that Blood Crusher gets a well-timed charge combined with a Bloodletter teleport, that can make short work of those Zoanthropes. It's just a matter of getting them in there and causing the damage. He still does have 1 squad of Heretics. Dropping the Immolate on those Termagants, but with the combined firepower of those Devourers there. Oh, and there goes the teleport. Took a couple swings at that Zoanthrope. If all 4 of them get the swing off at that Zoanthrope, I'm pretty sure it goes down. And Holyhammer being very careful, falling back, knowing that those Bloodletters are in his retreat path. With the healing aura of that worship right there, I don't think that Lictor will be able to do anything to those Bloodletters. A deadly jump there just barely kept them out of harm's way. And a nice looking knockback shot there. They did teleport behind the Lictor, and oh, another knockdown from the Warrior Broods. 2 knockdowns there back to back between the Zoanthrope and the Warriors. Just barely allowed that Lictor to get out of there in time. So excellent defensive play there by Holyhammer, keeping that Lictor alive. Meanwhile, the Chaos Space Marines down here are just barely winning that melee engagement with the help of the Blood Crusher. And 2 warp shots from the Zoanthropes leave that Blood Crusher completely immobilized. VindicareX getting a bit of a lag spike here. Oh no, I hope he didn't drop. Oh no! Oh, this was a good game. I hope he doesn't drop. Come on, Vindicare, get back here. Oh, and that's it. Vindicare does drop out. That's it for the Blood Crusher.
How are we handling drops?
Well, I believe that's it for Vindy.
Are we counting that as a loss for Vindicare?
Pretty much, unless